Welcome to the Pitcher Nail Down. I'm Jason Gilbo at jgilbo11, looking at pitching for tonight's 12-game slate. Full game slate here on Monday. You get the early game. It's Chicago in Wrigley, but not worried about that one. Overall, some decent pitching options on tonight's slates. Got Jacob deGrom going up against the Padres. Zach Greinke against the Braves. Those are kind of the two guys that are sitting up on top of most people's list tonight. So, as they should be. You look at DeGrom, best swinging strike rate on the slates, 13.6%, 28% strikeout rate this year. 3.58 Sierra, ground ball rate about 47%, going up against a Padres team that's actually given some fits to suppose the opposing pitchers of late. They're still striking out a ton, but actually over the last month or so, they're 13th in WOBA. They're right around the Orioles, right around St. Louis, right around Milwaukee to kind of put things in perspective. And the power has actually not been bad. Still a bad offense, still a team that strikes out a ton. You're still looking at DeGrom as an elite option on tonight's slate. He's a big minus 160 road favorite against Clayton Richard. Great ballpark. So I like DeGrom here. He comes as my number one option. Looking at Greinke is number two. You can make the case for Greinke's kind of being a GPP leverage playoff at DeGrom. I don't mind him in any format just because he is a little bit cheaper. Still not a good ballpark, but you look at this year, we're getting into August already. Greinke's proven that he can pitch here. Last 30 days, Braves are bottom 5 in WOBA and ISO, about 21% strikeout rate. Against righties this year, they've been pretty average as well. This is a team I don't mind targeting. They're 22nd in WOBA. They don't strike out a ton, right around 20%. But you look at Greinke, I mean, he's been missing a ton of bats this year, 13.3% swinging strike rate, 28% strikeout rate as well, not walking a lot of guys. So for me, I don't mind him. Keeps the ball on the ground, 47%. Greinke's kind of that leverage playoff at DeGrom, but both of them, not really much separates them in terms of just really the strikeout rate that San Diego has. So outside of that, we kind of move off into some other guys. Brad Peacock gets the Phillies on the road. Peacock's been pretty strong this year, especially in the strikeout department, 12.4% swing strike rate. 32.4% strikeout rate. The only issue with him is the walks, obviously, 13% walk rate. You look at this Phillies team, against righties, they don't walk a ton, 23.5% strikeout rate. They're bottom 10 in WOBA and ISO. This is a team I just really don't mind targeting, even over the last 30 days. They've been a little bit better, but still striking out a ton. Peacock's a decent road favorite. There is also some weather concerns in this game. Some thunderstorms right around 30-40% for most of the evening, so we have to keep an eye on that. If you are looking to use Peacock, I see him as a GPP option tonight, especially on DraftKings, just at that 11.5 price tag. He's too closely priced to DeGrom and Greinke for me to use over him in cash. I like the upside in tournaments if you're going that route, but that's about it. Moving elsewhere, I mean, we do have some cheaper options. In terms of the mid-range, I'm not really a huge fan. I know we have James Paxton there. He hasn't been obviously bad this year. He's been pretty strong. Going up against a Red Sox offense that just they're decent against lefties in terms of production. They're not a big power team. They do rank 6th in WOBA, and just a 15.7% strikeout rate. I just don't know if the Paxton upside's there. But at Rodriguez. He can miss some bats. 11.7% swinging strike rate, 27% strikeout rate when healthy. Just a GPP guy, but I think he's an intriguing GPP option. I think if you're looking for a lefty who's a cash game guy, it turns out an SP2. Hyunjin Ryu, someone intriguing tonight, mainly because the Twins lineup has just been pretty pathetic against lefties this year. 22nd in WOBA, 132 ISO, 21% strikeout rate. You look at Ryu, 11.9% swing strike rate. I expect his strikeout rate to kind of come back up. It's only at 22%, which is not bad, obviously. I still don't think Ryu is particularly that good. I just think in terms of matchup tonight, you look at Twins under a 4-run total. He's going to get plenty of run support here. Justin Verlander, he's a guy tonight that just kind of is off the radar a little bit for me. I like him. I like the price tag. You kind of look at his recent games. I don't think he's been all that bad. I don't think the upside has really quite been as consistent as we'd like to see, but the price is kind of baked into that. With that being said, I think, a strong start against Kansas City last time out, won the, start before. He hasn't been too bad against KC this year, which has been a little bit weird. Usually this is a team that kind of puts up runs and puts up a tough fight. I don't mind him in GPPs. I'm not going to be quite going his way in cash games, especially as an SP2. He's a decent home favorite, -140. I think he should get some runs apart with Ham on the other side. I do like some of the cheaper options, though. I think that's kind of where I'm headed to kind of get that extra bat or two. Kevin Gausman on the other side. This is a GPP only. Good ballpark there in Tampa. Gausman's been completely boomer bust. This is one of those ones where, you're talking about a negative floor. I don't think he's all that bad of a play tonight, but I'm going to be limiting my exposure. You look at this Rays offense against righties, they're still top 10 in WOBA, top 10 in ISO. They still have that 24% strikeout rate. Right around a 4.5 run total. It's not particularly three in this game. It's basically a pick 'em. Gausman's a guy who, is still missing bats. Near a 10% swinging strike rate, 20% strikeout rate. The ground ball rate's still below average. That's what you're always concerned about, but I think you're more concerned about it when he's playing at homes and hitters' ballparks. So Gausman a GPP play at the most. I don't mind him on this slate. Everyone else, though, can pretty much stay away. Garrett Coley's too expensive for this matchup. There's too many lefties that, even in this ballpark, I still don't like him. He's just too expensive for me to really consider against a team that doesn't strike out a ton. So kind of recap here, Jacob deGrom, Zach Greinke are your two best options. James Paxton, Brad Peacock are your better GPP pivots in the top range. In terms of mid-range guys that you can feel good about in SP2s. I think Gausman, Verlander, good GPP guys. Francisco Liriano, if you want to go down that route, is a good GPP guy against Oakland's offense that does have a high strikeout rate against lefties. They're also bottom 5 in WOBA and ISO. And Eduardo Rodriguez, a decent option as well. So plenty of options to kind of go around tonight. Kind of my personal take is where I'm going to be heading. Obviously, DeGrom, Ryu, I think it's going to be my cash game duo on DraftKings. Obviously, DeGrom cash game on FanDuel. But I think kind of mixing and matching Greinke, Peacock, if weather concerns, it's going to be my route in terms of GPPs. I'll take some Gausman shares and kind of hope for the best there. Liriano, risky, but, if you want to make multiple lineups, I don't hate the idea just because he does have the upside and he's extremely cheap. 5,800 on DraftKings, so that is something to note. But that's going to wrap it up. You can head over to DaveFantasyCafe.com to get great tools and content.